I had some money to spare after disposing of the horn, so it seemed time to invest in some new tools. Farkas is one of the few merchants willing to risk selling to an independent like me, and his prices are steep. But the other choice is to let one of the so-called city wardens give me orders and take a cut of my profits. They've been after me for years to join one of their stables, but I'm not interested. Maybe they'll get the idea and give up. More likely, they'll just ramp up the threats. Nothing I can't handle if I'm careful. And lucky. And my luck seems to have finally turned for the better.
Assassins. Now that you've got the finest in lockpicks, you can go after more challenging and lucrative targets. How about the local Hammer Temple? Hamel Temple? Get at least 1,000 loot. Hello everyone, welcome back to Sword Thief. Alright, let's see how expensive those lockpicks were. It occurs to me that Garret is a master thief, but he's kind of more like he's a master of sneaking. And even then, he's a master of hiding in shadows. He can hide in even the slightest shadow perfectly. And he's good at climbing, too. That's where he put all his points in 2nd edition thief skills. But he doesn't have a whole lot in lockpicks. In fact, these lockpicks will give him an advantage. And he can't... Oh, he's good at pickpocketing, too. But lockpicking's not his foray. Forte? Forte. Alright, we get lockpicking instructions, which I'll read once we're in a safe spot in the mission. And we get a handful of water arrows and moss arrows. Also, notice how expensive the lockpicks are. 4,000 for the pair. I guess the Horn of Quintus was worth a ton after all. Alright, now as for other loot, what are we buying? So, we're going after a Hammer Temple. So we'll want, we'll always purchase, if something is once for sale, at least a single healing potion to make up for any emergencies which occur. I think we'll purchase some moss arrows. There's usually lots of tile at Hammer Temples, but we'll buy, I think, 5 of them. We'll want more than just 4 water arrows, so I think we'll purchase at least 10. Now, what else do I want? Fire arrows are the, oh crap, I need this thing to die arrow type, which we could buy. Honestly, I'd rather sneak around enemies than fight them. You know what? We'll buy a single one, just in case, in the hopes to scare someone away. With my leftover cash, I guess we'll buy 1, 2 more moss arrows. And why not? We'll finish up all the water arrows. Okay, that looks good to me. Let's get going.
That shot was meant for me.
Yes, I'm sure it was Garret in the window. He's dead. Let's head back now.
These creeps are gonna lead me right back to whoever sent them to kill me, but only if I can tail them without them noticing me.
I heard someone. Look sharp.
Yeah, we'll redo this. Let's just skip right ahead. I'll even keep it in the recording. Let it be known that misclicking gets you caught. Okay, so now we know we're not going after a Hammer Temple, but we'll purchase most of the same stuff anyway. How about that? That's way too funny. That's way too funny. Also, while we weren't detected, you'll note that they became super suspicious. That's enough. That's enough to trigger them. Alright, let's do this again.
That shot was meant for me.
Yes, I'm sure it was Garret in the window. He's dead. Let's head back now.
These creeps are gonna lead me right back to whoever sent them to kill me, but only if I can tail them without them noticing me. I think it's time I dealt with Mr. Ramirez once and for all.
Let's take this opportunity to look at our map, read about our lockpicks, and examine our situation. So, first, our lockpicks. Lockpick instruction manual. To use a lockpick, use and hold it on the locked door for a few seconds. The handle of the door will move slowly to the open position, and you'll hear a continuous clicking until the handle turns and the door pops open. If you hear only a single short click, try using the other lockpick. If the handle jiggles but ends up only moving part of the way, you'll need to switch lockpicks and continue picking the door. You may need to switch picks more than once. If neither lockpick works, it means that the lock cannot be picked, and it's time to go find the key. Note that you must be quite close to a door to pick it, closer than you need to be to open it normally. Now, next, let's look at this map of ours. Well, this is where we are in Hightown. I think we started around here. Then we cut across this bridge and made our way like this to this place. Know that the two guys we followed, they don't take the same course all the time. They may go down different streets. The way in which they took me to Ramirez's was the easiest path to follow. They also double check they check if anyone's following them randomly at certain spots. They may not check where they did all their checks this time around, just as a heads up. And we have absolutely no information about what's inside this place other than it's got 2 floors and a basement. So probably not that much room to cover. Or many rooms to cover, I hope. Next, let's look at our objectives. Trail the thugs who just tried to assassinate you without being detected. Time to show Ramirez who the real criminal mastermind is. Break into his mansion and take what he values most, his wealth. The purse from his belt should make the point. Loot the mansion for valuables. You need at least 1,500 worth. Locate his prized silver fire poker. It's worth quite a bit. Get out of the mansion. Interestingly enough, I can kill anyone in this mission. Even servants, though I have no desire to do so. Finally, before we go in, we're going to take a look on the outside. We can go back all the way we came if we wanted to, and look for any other loot that may be out here. But we're just going to case the place and see if there's any other way to get in besides the main entrance. That looks suspicious, but the current's too strong. We'll never be able to swim up that.
Garret tells me the hammers are gonna close down Craig's Bluff.
Yeah, he's taffing you. Where are they gonna put the poor saps they grab?
Dunno. Toss them into a well or something. Anyhow, they just don't have enough guys no more.
Kinda sad. Used to be the power. Now they're just a bunch of guys wishing for the old days.
Hello? Show yourself. Oh, well. Don't know what it was.
Is that you?
A new type of item is here, everyone. These are mines. You can either drop them on the ground or throw them onto the ground, away from you. After several seconds of being dropped or thrown, they will arm themselves. Anything that then walks within a very close proximity will take damage as the mine blows up. Throwing the mines creates a huge amount of noise, and blowing up creates even larger amounts of noise. The mines are made out of metal after all. They will kill anything that is unaware of you. If it is super aware, they might not die, but they will be severely hurt. When they blow up on something, they can destroy zombies. Commissioner Dinavan, I note with displeasure that, again, one of my tough boys has been taken to Crag's Cleft. May I remind you of the substantial donations I make to your office, such that I may pursue business unhindered by idle scrutiny? May I remind you, as well, of your predecessor's unfortunate end? The rivers are so treacherous this time of year. I trust that you will attend to this, and if the hammers are too difficult for your policemen, I trust as well that you will let me know. Ramirez. I want to put it on the chair. This is an alarm system. Pressing this button will activate it. There will be loud sirens. Wherever there's this light, there'll be red light now emitting. All the guards go on high alert, they take new patrol routes, and it becomes very difficult to reach Ramirez, and you'll probably have to kill him in order to get the belt, the pouch from around his belt. Lord Ramirez, the reinforced walls and steel door have been duly installed about your counting room, but I must warn you that we cannot guarantee them against Burrock tunneling. If you do not move the creatures out of the basement into a more distant area, we cannot be held responsible for the potential damages. Tol Kamrick and Sons.
Going to be assigned monster babysitting.
What? Why me?
The boss thinks his nasties don't get enough affection. You'll be down there rubbing their tummies.
I'll quit first. See if I don't.
Who's that?
Thought I saw something. Guess it was nothing. Peaceful, isn't it?
Enjoy it while it lasts, friend. His fatness will be back soon to make our lives miserable again.
Where is he then? I haven't seen him tonight.
Down in the cellar again, counting his loot. I hope he stays down there all night.
Master Vrind, recall our previous conversation about untapped sources. Can you find any precedent on going into the walled section of the old quarter? There's all that crap about walking evil, but you know how the hammers are. 10 to 1 gets there's all sorts of property. No known heir, free for the picking without even hiring to pay gelt for lawful overlook, or even having to do it. Anyhow, no rush on this one. Better look into it on the quiet, rather than rile the hammers, or let Reputo or Webster hear about it. Ramirez. Master Ramirez, I must beg your attention. While, as you say, there is most certainly a breach in the Druckbaum pit, my subordinates inform me that this is due to the encroach of hammer patrols among the patrons, and that my immediate Druckbaum comptroller, Guinea, has been unable to deal with the problem. Should this qualify as a full breach, I must regretfully insist that the breach is on Guinea's part, and not mine. I am, of course, happy to furnish all ledgers for verification. Lord Bafford. Well, we knew Bafford was working with a Mr. Ramirez, or at least in correspondence with him. Now we know that he was talking to this guild leader. Also, I think Reputo and Webster are two other guild leaders for competing guilds for other sections of the city. As long as I'm interrupting, Garret is an independent. He does not work for any of the guilds and doesn't want to, because they would take a cut of his profits. It may seem weird to unlock doors that I have no intention of exiting through or going through. However, if I end up here and need to get through that door because I'm being chased by a handful of guards, I will want that door to open. So, I check all doors, try to lockpick all doors where possible.
I thought Quince and Jacko were on watch tonight.
The boss sent them on a special errand. Some fellow he wants dead. A thief. Name of Garret.
I've heard of him. Garret. No one to be trifled with. That's what I heard.
Not anymore if he's had a visit from those two.
Boys, while I appreciate your enthusiasm, I must point out that breaking legs is really rather inefficient if we wish our clients to be able to pursue their rather active lives in order to immediately repay their debts. I encourage your initiative in this area. Perhaps you might take a lesson from the gardener and his hedge clippers, who trims off one branch while leaving the rest to grow. And most of our clients do start with fingers to spare.
Someone's been having too much fun here.
should send some muscle after the stone group. I think the taxes will get covered from the fund. Need to get Joff's leg broken. Can't defy me like that.
The gong that you just heard is Ramirez there summoning a servant with some food. I'm going to wait until the servant shows up and then leaves. Ramirez is difficult to pick his pocket. He doesn't stay in any one area for a set amount of time, and he wanders randomly through his room. It will be very difficult if I want to rob it completely.
Maybe I should send some muscle after the stone group. I think the taxes will get covered from the fund. Need to get Joff's leg broken. Can't defy me like that.
It may be time for me to move along now. Don't want to wear out my welcome.
What was that?
Ah! Look, whoever you are, I can make it well worth your while to cause no trouble.
Willoughby Bright, Stone Market Cut Purse. Skipping on Gelt for the 5th time. Not worth the trouble. Public bounty of 200. Garret, South Quarter Independent Thief. Denied cut 3 times. Sent Quince and Jackow out to shorten him. Overlord's Fancy, Gambling Den. Check with Reputo. Is it his? Either way, someone's not talking to someone they should. Shame. I wanted what else was in this room. Reputo, Warden of North Quarter, Shalebridge, New Market, New Quarter. Blood sports, money lending, spy watching, organization of about 20 subsidiaries, 50 personal tough boys and fireboys. Contact with Shemanovs. Webster, Warden of Docks, Eastport, Dayport, Rooftop Breakers, Protection and Anti-Protection Services, Smuggling, Coin Faking, 12 subsidiaries, 60 tough boys, 20 odd solo contractors, strong foreign contacts. Victoria, Independent Fence, previously Reputos, dominates include thief's pawnage of exotics, medicinals, sorry about that. No known organization, contact with second-tier nobility, Grand Library and Order of the Vine. May have warden aspirations. Dorcas Goodfellow, Blackbrook Underguild Ambassador. Particular and portable dominates include magical constructs, medicinals, and elemental crystals. We're going to see if the Burricks have managed to make a passage out of here. I might have to kill them. As to properly check, I'm going to need to get past them. Guess we could try a flash bomb and check. Let's do this.
What sort of a lunatic keeps these things as pets?
cold and the dark and the damp.
Second, everyone. I don't know why my computer is starting to act up. I'll be back. I don't know what was up with that. It seems to have cleared up now, though. Nice. We did it. Now, I will say that I believe if you knock out anyone before you meet Ramirez and steal his belt, you have to actually sneak your way back to your home turf. If you don't do so, however, you can skip that. The game just ends when you leave the facility, as we've seen here. So, that was pretty awesome. Let's look at our stats and talk about the mission really quick. Wow, we only missed 100 loot. That's incredible. With 2 knockouts. A shame about Ramirez. I was really hoping to just take the gold. I didn't realize there was a key in there. I probably would have tried one of the chests, and if it was locked, I would have left at that point. He whirled right around after reaching that one ledge, so how about... That kind of sucked being caught like that. Still, we didn't have to kill him. And there's no secrets in the Burrick area, which seems weird that they even have it. I guess he's some sort of evil mastermind with evil creatures or what have you. Still, that was lots of fun. Thank you all for watching, and I guess I'll see you guys in the next one. So, take care, and I'll see you then.